Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 10th chapter, text 24. Savayam Sakyanugata Satkato Vedeshu Guhyeshu Chaguhyavadibhihi Yayeka Yesho Jagatatma Leelaya Srajatyavati Yattina Tatra Sajjate Savayam Sakyanughita Satkato Vedeshu Guhyeshu Chaguhyavadibhihi Yayeka Yesho Jagatatma Leelaya srajatyavati yatti na tatra sajjate. Savayam sakyanugita satkato vedeshu guhyeshu cha guhyavadhibhihi. Yayeka yesho jagadatma lilaya srajatyavati yatyena tatra sajjate. Mataji. Word to word meaning. Saha, he. Why, also. I am this. Sakhi, O my friend. Anugita, described. Sakatha, the excellent pastimes. Vedeshu, in the Vedic literatures. Guhyeshu, confidentially. Cha, as also. Guhyavadhibhihi, by the confidential devotees. Yaha, one who. Ekaha, one only. Ishaha, the supreme controller. Jagat, of the complete creation. Atma, super soul. Leelaya, by manifestation of pastimes. Srijati, creates. Avatiyati, also maintains and annihilates. Na, never. Tatra, there. Sajjate, becomes attached to it. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Oh dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead, whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literatures by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world, and yet remains unaffected. Purport. As it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedic literatures are glorifying the greatness of Lord Shri Krishna. Here it is confirmed in the Bhagavatam also. The Vedas are expanded by many branches and sub-branches by great devotees and empowered incarnations of the Lord, like Vyasa, Narada, Sukadeva Goswami and the Kumaras, Kapila, Prahlada, Janaka, Bali and Yamaraj. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam especially, the confidential parts of his activities are described by the confidential devotee Sukadeva Goswami. In the Vedanta Sutra or Upanishad, there is only a hint of the confidential parts of his pastimes. In such Vedic literatures as the Upanishad, the Lord has expressively been distinguished from the mundane conception of his existence. His identity being fully spiritual, his form, name, quality and paraphernalia, etc. have been elaborately distinguished from matter And therefore, he is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent persons as impersonal. But factually, he is a supreme person, Bhagavan, and he is partially represented as Paramatma or impersonal Brahman. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Vam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sava Ayam Sakyanughita Satkato Vedesha Guhya Chicha Guhya Vadibhihi Yayeka Yesho Jagadatma Lilaya Srajati Avatyati Natatra Sajjate. Oh dear friends, here is the very personality of Godhead whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literatures by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, annihilates the material world, yet remains unaffected. Hare Krishna. So Krishna is departing to Dwaraka from Hastinapura, and all the devotees are feeling separation from Krishna, that he is going to leave Hastinapura. And here on the top of the palace, the women of Hastinapura are looking at Krishna and they are talking among themselves. So the word Sakhi comes here. The friends, each other, they are talking about Krishna. And beautiful narrations are given here. So the yesterday's verse and today's verse, very beautifully, Sukadeva Goswami is, it's like when we have darshan, when the curtain is opened, how it gradually, the curtain opens. And we take darshan of Krishna. So Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna personified. Dharma swanugate, Krishna swadhame anugate, dharma jnanadibi saha. Kalau nashtadrisham esha puranarko dhino uditaha. So Srimad Bhagavatam reveals Krishna like a sun reveals the objects in our life. So here the ladies are speaking among themselves. So the confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literatures. So in this material world also we see certain marginal places have a difficulty in approach. Like if you go to the beach, ocean, there is a land and there is an ocean. So the connecting point is like neither it is earth, land, nor it is water, So the boat is made up of earth. So it has to be pushed into the water. So there is a big struggle. If you have seen how the boatman pushes the boat into the ocean, it's not that takes sometime half an hour, 1 hour also. The waves are forcing the boat towards the earth, and the boatman is forcing the boat inside the ocean. So there is a big struggle there to go from the earth to the water inside. So there's a boat. Like we see the airplane journey is what, just sit in the airplane and just fly. It's not so much interesting when you are flying on the sky. It's all the time cloud, But the takeoff takes place. There's a biggest struggle. Where the maximum difficulty takes place? In taking off and landing. When the sky and earth joins, from the sky to the earth or earth to the sky. Again, it's a marginal place. It's the most concentrated effort, most difficulties, most struggle the pilot undergoes. Why? Because that is a marginal place between the two different materials of different nature. So like that we see the lift, from down place, lower place to upper place, staircases. So the connecting place is actually the most difficult place. So Srimad Bhagavatam, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to connect ourselves with Krishna. Krishna is of a different category. And even though we in nature is of a similar category of Krishna, but we are in the artificial place which is different from Krishna. That is this material world, isn't it? So this is made up of matter, and Krishna is completely spirit. And trying to reach out to Krishna or trying to bring Krishna to our realm, it's again a bit difficult and struggle. That's basically what the struggle is all about. Because that's what our experience in this world also. So how, just like darshan I was talking about, how it unfolds. Similarly, Krishna as a divine plan, how he unfolds his personality in this different realm altogether. So in the ocean, the instrument by which we travel is different. It's a boat. In the land, we have another instrument which is, the car, vehicles, train, bus and all. So the instrument differs according to the place in which it is involved. Similarly, everything we need an instrument. So here we have to understand Krishna who is spiritual. But the instrument what we have got is something not up to the standard. The instrument is made up of matter. And Krishna is spirit. So that is another difficulty. Just like within this world itself, this clip is a red color. So if you want to get the understanding this is red in color, we need to have an instrument, correct? What is the instrument by which we can understand this is red color? Eyes. So eyes is the instrument by which I can understand this is red in color. But I have got another instrument also, the ear or nose, by which I can't understand this is red in color, isn't it? So as the object of knowledge, what we want to understand, the subject varies, the instrument also varies. So through the eye instrument, I can only grasp the knowledge of color. With the ear, I can only gather the knowledge of sound. So as the subject varies, instrument also varies. One instrument cannot work for other instrument. So this instrument what we have got is very much limited even within our the material platform itself. Now all these instruments put together, we have got 5 instruments, isn't it? This is knowledge acquiring sense. So these are the instruments. So all these instruments put together, Krishna is such a subject matter, he cannot come under the grasp. That's why the Shastras declare before itself, Atashri Krishna Namati na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi. So the instruments are very limited, and their function is not so great. They are imperfect. They can't even function well within this realm itself. Or to speak of understanding a person who is beyond a different variety. This color is a variety, is within this same realm matter. The sound is also, what we're hearing is the sound of the fan or the sound of the ocean or people speak. This is also a material thing. And this material sound and form itself, the instruments, what we have is limited, It cannot grasp things. So how can we get the understanding of Krishna? So before attaining anything, I'm talking very basic things only. So before we enjoy or attain anything, first of all, we need to understand things, isn't it? I'll use just an example. If a 3-year-old child, if it comes, in one hand, we have got 1 rupee coin. In another hand, we have got 100 rupees note or 2000 rupees note in currency note. If you give this both, if you show both to this child, a 2-year-old child, nowadays we have to reduce the year even much below, otherwise the children are very smart. 1-year-old, safer side. If you show both in the hand, 2000 rupees note one hand, 1 rupee coin, which one the child would pick up? 1 rupee coin. Prabhuji deals with all these things transcendentally. Anandurudhan Prabhu. 1 rupee coin, he says. Why 1 rupee coin, not the 2000 rupees note? Because 1 rupee coin is round. He can play with that, put it in the ground, it rolls back. It rolls around, So it picks up 1 rupee coin. But the same child grows, it is now 15 year, 20 year. If you show both, which one it will pick up? This 2000 rupees, because 2000 rupees has 2000 1 rupee coin within it, So our pravritti and nivritti mean like the endeavor part, the desire, So the child is desiring the 1 rupee because it is understand 1 rupee is something very important for me. It is nice. So according to your understanding, then the desire comes. So the child is desiring, when you show, okay, I should pick up the 1 rupee coin, so it goes to the 1 rupee coin. And when the desire comes, what is the next step comes? The child extends his hand and then picks it up. So third level comes the endeavor part, prayatna, prayas. And after endeavoring, what happens? The child gets 1 rupee in his or her hand. So, according to your understanding, there comes the desire. According to the desire comes the endeavor. And according to the endeavor, the way you, the effort, accordingly you'll get the result also, the prayojana. So that means, in a simple understanding, everything starts with proper understanding. So according to the jnana, understanding, there comes a desire. But the understanding itself is not there, Then where comes the desire? And the desire is not there, why a person endeavors. Desire is a cause for pravritti and nivritti. If you give the child, a grown-up person, in 1 glass of Karela juice and 1 glass of, cocktail juice, something, ice cream, 1 cup of ice cream. And you will see 2 kinds of action. One is pravritti and another is nivritti. Karela juice, he just runs away from that place. Ice cream, he goes and grabs. Even if you run away, he goes behind it and grabs it. So the desire is a cause. What is the knowledge is a cause for both pravritti and nivritti. But if a small child is there, if you give, this, the fruit of the neem fruit, it may think that it's a chocolate. So because it doesn't know, there will be nivritti. But when the first time it eats and second time if you show it, it runs away. So without understanding that, then there cannot be any particular, positive action or, detachment, nivritti. So now the problem comes is that, as we discussed about this ocean and the boat is going inside, the conjecture between Krishna and us. So we have to understand Krishna. Then after understanding him, there maybe desire will come. Oh, Krishna is such a beautiful, such a wonderful thing. When the desire becomes strong, then we'll endeavor to achieve him. When we endeavor, finally we get him. So now the problem is that, first of all, the first step itself is a difficulty for us. How to know him. So just like I cannot get the knowledge of sound, the instrument has to be there. What is the instrument by which we can get? We can understand Krishna in the first place. There the first effort and the great discussion are there with among the philosophers and scholars and everybody. How we can first of all get the understanding of anything spiritual. So the instrument is to be discussed properly. What is the instrument? Many things in this day-to-day life, also in our life, regarding instruments, sometimes these instruments, such as the 5 instruments what we have, if it doesn't work, we are very far away and we are not able to see things. 10 years back, we have seen the airplane. Now a child is asking what is airplane. You are not seeing, but you can remember the airplane is something like this. It has huge wings, and it has beautiful seats inside, and it flies. It makes sound like that. So remembrance can be done. By remembrance, we can also get the understanding or convey to others. But the remembrance depending on your previous experience. So if you cannot say Krishna, can we remember him somehow or other, speculate? That is also not possible, because remembrance is depending on the previous experience. So that instrument is also not so much useful. Okay, the other way we can think about is that, can we say, just like a child doesn't know what is butter means. It's asked the teacher, what is butter? The teacher may say the butter is something like, you have seen swan, you go for this swimming pool and all, you see these swans and ducks, white in color. Like that, whitish object is butter. So it has some idea, butter means whitish in color, because it has seen the swan which is white. So can we also say Krishna means what? Krishna is something like this, like that. That is also not possible, because why? There is nothing similar to Krishna, because it's a different category altogether. So we are stuck. We can't say similarity also with Krishna. So in such kind of scenario, what other instrument can be there? Can we ask here from somebody, that is also a problem. Just like, can anybody know what is the taste of cyanide? So the cyanide, whoever tasted, they are no more. And those who are here don't know what is the taste of cyanide. So a negative example is Krishna is something like that, nobody has tasted it. And those who are tasted, they are not able to tell us for some reason or what. So how we can first of all get to know him, then comes all other steps. Okay, can we hear from somebody? But problem is that those who are speaking, their words are also material sound. They cannot describe about Krishna also. So even the words also doesn't, yatho vacho nivartante. The words are retreating back. They are not able to approach Krishna. So what is the solution? So this is a problem. On top of that, even in the material world, even when you have instrument, still that looks like not sufficient. For example, when a man is walking in the road, on the roadside he found an iPhone lying without any ownership claimed, And the monkey is also there walking nearby and it sees iPhone. So now, eye is an instrument by which one can pick up the iPhone, correct? And now the man if he sees iPhone, he'll pick it up and put it in his pocket. But the monkey, what it does, it may take the iPhone and looks front and sees backside and sees half eaten apples, juta. So just throw it and goes away maybe. iPhone. So what the monkey will do, it will see the iPhone, but it will just throw it away and go somewhere else. But the man will pick it up. So now both of them have the instrument, the eyes. Monkey also has the instrument eye, but still doesn't get the understanding this is the iPhone. So is it instrument is the only reason by which we understand things? It looks like not sufficient. When I was joined temple in way back in 96, one devotee in Udupi, he made all efforts to make one pizza. 96 in Udupi. So I never heard the name pizza in my life. So he worked from morning till evening, collected all ingredients, we went all around in small town. And he was sweating whole day, he was making all preparation. And finally evening at 6 o'clock, the pizza came with a nice crust and top artichoke and basil leaves and olive oil and olive fruits and whatnot, And it was served and he brought one plate in front of me. And then it came, I saw the pizza and I thought in my mind, I think this fellow tried some uttapam. Uttapam is another kind of a dosa, A lot of things will be on top, tomatoes, potatoes, all these things. So I said that this fellow tried some uttapam, it didn't come properly. So anyway, he tried so hard for the first time. Let me please him, So as if I'm doing a favor for him, I looked at the pizza and looked at him, And he was so much eagerness that how devotees are going to relish the pizza. So, but it was so, huge. And so what I did was I broke some corner of the pizza and I scrapped all the thing on the top, with a spoon and other part of the pizza, scrapped everything. Olive oil, olive fruits and artichoke and cheese, everything came. It was a kind of chutney pile next to in my plate in one corner. And I looked at the crust. I saw here and there, either it is chapati or it is dosa. What is this? So then I thought I am doing a favor for this devotee. So I will accept this so that he will be happy. So I broke that small piece of pizza crust and took some of this olive and it's kind of dosa chutney combination. And this devotee is watching all this thing and he was frowning and he was breathing so heavily. I worked so hard. This guy is eating my pizza like this. So then practically you can't believe he caught hold of my collar, kurta. What are you doing, man? I made pizza all whole day working hard. You are doing this, Till today. This devotee's name is Nityananda Prabhu, Italian devotee. If he sees me today, it's 20 years is gone, almost more than that. First thing, he'll start the conversation with this only. What did you do with my pizza on the other day? So here, I got the eyes, but I didn't understand what is this. So this monkey has an instrument, but doesn't understand what it is. So what extra we need to understand, really the thing is, that we need to know the characteristic of that thing, The iPhone is something you can use it for speaking or hearing, I can order many things. I can use this in various ways. So 90-year-old woman, if you show pizza, she will throw it away and she may just go for dosa. If you show iPhone to a 90-year-old woman and ordinary phone, she may not know what is the difference. She may even pick up the lowest quality is more important. So the instruments are not enough, but also one need to know the peculiar characteristic of the particular item in whose knowledge we are looking for. So in this world, that's why we need two things. One is instrument, another is also the proper peculiar characteristics, special characteristics of that particular object, so that we'll be able to understand what it is. So so we need to do two things. One is that, first of all, we should know who is absolute truth and also his characteristics. Then only we can get the understanding of him. Then there is understanding followed by desire, followed by endeavor, followed by attainment of the objects. And so this is even the material things also have all these steps. So now still absolute truth, Krishna, where we start with what to do, what is the instrument for this, and even the instruments are there, will that be sufficient? So these things has to be dealt with. So what is the instrument to understand Krishna? So everybody can, it's a known subject only. So the instrument, our instrument in our hands are not so much useful. So Krishna himself gives us the instrument. What is the instrument? The Shastra, Vedas. Why Vedas or Shastras? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is the instrument. Because the subject matter and the instrument has to have a matching characteristic. Similar thing it should have, So, like the red color and eyes are in one category. That's why they can relate with each other. Ear cannot. Ear and sound are at one category. So similarly, the instrument also has to be in a similar category with the object whose knowledge we are looking for. So Krishna's characteristic is he is spiritual. So similarly, a spiritual instrument can help us to understand him. So the sound, the spiritual sound, are similar category or characteristic with Krishna. What is that characteristics? It is eternal and it's untouched by the three modes of material nature. Or in simple words, it is non-material. So the Shastras are also descending from Krishnas of the same category. So only that can reveal Krishna. So that is one thing. That's why we are here. The shloka says, Vedeshu guhyecha cha guhyavadibhihi. So here women are discussing about Krishna. So who are these women how we can trust them? What they can understand about Krishna? That's why Sukadeva Goswami, the ladies of the Hastinapur, they are talking. This Krishna is not an ordinary person. He is the same absolute truth. Vedeshu guhyeshu. He is the subject matter of the Vedas. Not just the Vedas, guhyeshu. In the confidential part of the Vedas, he has been described. So he is not just ordinary boy who is just moving around. So Vedas are describing about him. Veda Vedyaha. Amnaya Vedyatvam. He is known only by the Amnaya or the Vedas, Shastras. Why? The Shastras of similar nature. The Vedas are, as His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj spoke the other day, they are the breathing of the Lord. So the Lord's breath, Lord, all are spiritual in nature. So that spiritual sound can reveal the source of spiritual sound, Shri Krishna. So the Shastras are describing, Shastras are the instrument through which we can understand Krishna. Now, the instrument can be there, but still we say that, the eyes are looking at the salt, sugar, rice, naphthalene ball, all are white in color. But somebody may bring the naphthalene ball instead of sugar, and if you mix it with the milk, what will happen? So not only the eyes are sufficient, the eye contact is there, but one should know sugar is, not just white in color, but it is sweet in taste. So one can avoid naphthalene ball, rice and salt and only pick up sugar. But somebody knows that sugar is sweet. But if he doesn't have eyes, somebody is blind. Somebody's tongue is being tied by a plastic covering. So he may look at the sugar, which is also powder sugar and powder salt. He may not be able to understand which is sugar because you can't put it in your mouth, your tongue is, or you are diseased because by the jaundice you are able to taste it, or your eyes are eye folded, or you are blind. So the person have the character, he knows the characteristics. Sugar means it is sweet, but the instruments are not there, still he can't access. The instrument is there regarding the monkey, but it doesn't know the important characteristic of the iPhone, so it cannot access that iPhone. It doesn't understand what is iPhone. So we need to have both instrument and also the specific characteristic of that thing, then only we can get some understanding of that thing. So, regarding Krishna, what is the instrument? The Shastra is the instrument. But that is not sufficient. What is the characteristic of Krishna? So, who will give the peculiar characteristic of the understanding of the object of knowledge and the instrument? Instrument we all have got. In material I am talking about. We have got the instrument. Nobody has to give us. It is inbuilt. Instruments are there. But the characteristic, how we get it? Regarding sugar, grandma metal. Beta, sugar means it is white in color, nice and sweet. Don't bring salt. It also nice. But bring sugar, sweet in taste. So the characteristics, specific characteristics are given by the experienced person in this world. So the instruments are in one place and the characteristic knowledge we are getting from others. But regarding Krishna, the both are coming in one place. The instruments are the Shastras, and the Shastras themselves are also giving us the peculiar characteristics which the Shastras are putting forward as the absolute truth. So that's why it's a full proof. So we are able to understand who is Krishna. So the Shastras not merely telling that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Also, it gives the specific characteristics of the absolute truth so that we won't be cheated. Why? If only the instrument is sufficient, we may be cheated. We may bring naphthalene ball as a sugar, So what is the characteristic, what the Shastra is talking about? The characteristic of absolute truth. If it is only says Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vedas are telling, Shastra is telling, worship him. But then as Radha Gopinath Prabhu in his Gita course, he would many times often he says, if somebody comes from the drama troupe wearing peacock feather and golden dhoti and playing flute, colored himself in blue color. And people say, oh, this is what the Shastras are telling, Krishna is Supreme Lord. Here Krishna have come. So pay full obeisances to him and worship him. So we may be cheated. We may be just, we may not understand actually who is Krishna. So the Shastras are also giving not just it is pointing to the name, pointing to the person Krishna, but also it is carefully telling us the characteristics, specific characteristics of Krishna. So that characteristics was spoken in these previous shlokas also, in this shloka also. Srijati avati atti na tatra sajjate. So this person, Krishna, is not a coward boy just, stealing butter and playing flute. He is the supreme absolute truth. Srijati, avati, atti. Srijati creates, avati, he maintains. Atti means practically it is eating. Eating here in the sense samhara karta, one who destroys. So Krishna is the absolute truth. The Shastras are point is the instrument. And that absolute truth characteristics is Janmadi yasya yatonmayati taratas. He is from whom all creation emanates from. He who maintains all of them. Aishvaryasa samagrasya virya shashashriyaha. Jnana vairagyasya kshanam bhaga idingana. So this is also characteristic. The Shastras are telling that Vishnu, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is the characteristic of that Krishna? These are the characteristics. So when person comes from the drama troupe, you won't be cheated. So in this way, Shastras are giving us a perfect understanding of an anti-material subject matter to us who are in the realm of the material objects. So our eyes are matter, but here is a Shastras are bringing and presenting in front of us this Krishna, the Supreme Absolute Truth, with the specific characteristics. Now we got the instruments, which are the Shastra, and we have the special characteristic. Then we can understand Krishna. Then the desire comes in our heart. So that's the reason the Shastras are Krishna have given us the Shastra. Krishna swadhame upagate. Kalau nashta drisham yesha. What is nashta? The instrument is there, but still the people are blind. Why? The sun is still shining. The eyes are there, still they are blind. Why? Because the instrument is not there. So what is the instrument? So Krishna himself becomes the instrument through which Krishna is revealed to us with his specific characteristics. So, with that characteristics of Krishna and with the instrument of Shastra, one can understand Krishna. Problem is not end with that. We have a Shastra. The Shastras are like a mother pointing out to the father, who is your father, with the specific characteristics. But the problem is, still, our senses are material. The sound which describing Krishna is also spiritual. So again the problem, the example of the boat entering into the ocean, the struggle. So how that spiritual sound and our material ear, they are not in the same category. As we discussed before, the red color is one category, eyes of the same category, it can grasp. But spiritual sound is a different category and ears of different category. It cannot grasp a spiritual sound. So again there is a problem. So what is the solution? So just like, I give the example of, we have American plug and Indian plug point. The socket doesn't go together, So even you may have, so Krishna, Swata Pravarti Ashakyatva, the fan is moving not on its own. The current has to enter in it. Similarly, the material world, Jivatma are Swata Pravarti Ashakyatva. They cannot do anything on their own. Krishna has to enter within them. Then only Krishna as three Paramatmas, Karodasha Vishnu, Garbhodasha Vishnu, Shirodasha, he enters. Otherwise, we even in this world we say, some president or somebody, unless you come, nothing will work here. So Krishna has to enter. So the fan rotates only if current enters. So Krishna is like electricity. The electricity have come till the plug point, the socket. But my plug is of American plug. The current is there, but I am not able to get it. So the current, if it doesn't flow through the plug, which is connected to the laptop fan or any other instrument, it will not work. So our instruments are like the, say, Indian instrument, and the plug is sort of American, the socket is American socket. Current is like Krishna, but how it is going to enter into us? So there we need an interface, we adapter. So you put the adapter, some kind of adapter which has the Indian side and the American side, and you plug it together. Then the current flows, fan runs, light runs, laptop runs, everything runs. So what is that adapter between the spiritual sound which reveals Krishna with his special characteristic by which we can get to know him, then develop desire and you endeavor and we get Krishna and our material senses. So that adapter has to be there. Without that we can't access. So what is that interface between the ocean and the land? That work very hard. The fisherman works very hard to push the boat. Comes again and again, hitting back. He has to push it. The flight taking off, he has to struggle hard to take it off. So what is that adapter which connects the spiritual sound with the material ears, spiritual Krishna with our material eyes? So that adapter is also has to be accessible. The adapter has both elements. One is it is accessible to the Indian plug, also it is accessible to the American, in between, something like that, interface. So that interface also has to be thought about it. So that interface is something interesting. What could be that interface? Anybody have any idea, guess? Guru, Narsimha Leela, Tirtha Prabhu, Guru. Any other guess? The previous shloka, Srimad Bhagavatam, I will read the verse. You all can easily hear directly from the Bhagavatam instead of me speaking. Sava ayam yat padam matra surayaho jitendriya nirjita matareshvanaha. Yesterday's verse I'm reading. Pashyanti bhakti ukta leela Lila Amalatmana. Pashyanti Bhakti Ukta Leela Amalatmana. Bhakti Uktalita Amalatmana. So that bhakti is that particular interface. Rupa Goswami, that's why he says, very interestingly, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyehi. Krishna's name, form, qualities cannot be grasped by these material senses. So even though he speaks in the first two lines this way, what is the solution he gives is something interesting. The next two lines, the solution is that he again goes back to the same thing. What he says? Sevan mukehi jihvado. Now, grahyam indriyahi. The indriyas, you can't comprehend Krishna. So is it not the tongue is also instrument, indriya instrument? But he says, only with tongue you can grasp Krishna. So first two lines he says, indriyas cannot grasp Krishna. Second two lines he is saying that with jihva you can grasp Krishna. Is it not contradictory? But what Rupa Goswami have done is that between these two he put on interface, adapter. What is adapter? Say, not just a jihva. Sevan mukehi jihvado. Bhaja sevayam. Bhakti is coming from the root word bhaja seva. So through seva, jiva mixed with the seva, one can grasp Krishna. So if bhakti is not there, we have no scope. Totally different category. You can sit in this, for lifetime, it is like a taste of the cyanide. When cannot get Krishna. Or, the owl trying to see things in the daylight. We can never access Krishna. So Krishna is very merciful. This red color doesn't have a capacity to reveal to the ears because it is a material thing. But regarding Krishna, one more interesting thing is that, like in the lockdown time, everybody in their house, you can't go to the market to purchase. If the announcement is made in the street, the government is made arrangement that it can come and give to you all the things. So milk comes and rice comes, dal comes and sabji comes. So they announce from the road, sabji have come, please come and collect it. So we just go downstairs and you show your bag, you put sabji. And after 1 hour again another vehicle comes, we have got rice. He takes the same bag and he shows the bag and rice is put. So then little later announcement comes, milk have come. So he heard and then as a habit he again takes the same bag. And can he collect the milk with that bag? The milk just drowns down. You can't hold the milk in the basket or in a cloth bag. Rice, sabji you can collect. So even if this is given for free, milk is available, you are entitled to take the milk, but you can't, your bag cannot hold the milk. Similarly, Krishna is like the milk. We can't hold it through our patra, our bag. This ear cannot hold him because he is like a milk, he can just goes away. But Krishna's mercy is such that he is merciful, he is present everywhere, and he is all-knowing. Because of this reason, Krishna can become access to your pot also, even though it is of a different category. Milk cannot be held in the pot, in the cloth. Somebody say, I will make the milk into paneer or make it rabadi and you can hold it in. So, okay, we can give the example of somebody announced 50 GB data is free. You can't take your, pot also there, vessel also you can't hold. So you need a particular instrument for receiving 50 GB data, So we don't have any instrument for receiving Krishna. But Krishna, unlike the products of this material world, can adapt himself to be received even by these useless instruments what we have. But Krishna, how he does it? Through a particular, just like milk can be held in a basket if it gets transformed into paneer. But Krishna doesn't have to transform himself. But he gives one more an element which is accessible in between this particular interface. That is called as bhakti. Premanjana churid bhakti vilochanena. So this particular thing Krishna is mercifully given. When that bhakti enters, that acts as that interface adapter by which the object which is Krishna, which is not possible to be held by our senses, can be held by our senses, can be comprehended by our senses. That's why it is so beautiful, and it is also in one sense very difficult to understand by the materialistic people. They think that devotees are also look similar. You are also chanting Hare Krishna, we are chanting, some Jai Bhim or something, something we are also. So what is the difference? So the sound, they don't understand the so much of what are things, thought process, what are things went into this, So that particular devotional attitude, seva bhava, that becomes the attractive force, the adapter by which the current of Krishna's can flow within us. And that illuminates the heart. So that bhakti, Krishna gives to us not directly, through the devotees Krishna gives. So through the devotees Krishna gives that bhakti, and when we get the bhakti, the senses, bhakti means what? The bhakti is nothing but using our senses in the service of Krishna. Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uttama. So when we do that, then what happened? Inaccessible Krishna becomes accessible by our material senses also. So that's why not just that, Krishna becomes subservient to even our material senses also. When you want paint Krishna, whatever paint you want, you paint. You put chandan whenever you want, whatever way you want. Some put thin, some may put thick. Krishna accept everything, So that day we went to Radha Bihari temple. We are so nice it was. We are given so much freedom. We are putting chandan on Radha Bihari and Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Gaurnitai Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Salagram Govardhan Shila. Whatever way you put chandan, they are accepting. We are not able to believe for this Krishna. Prabhupada gave his whole life, his struggle. What a fight it was. But he is accessible to us also, and Prabhupada also. So some are directly accessing Krishna with a purified spiritual sense. At the same time, Krishna is accessible to the material sense, at least in my case. But what is that? That is because of the element of bhakti, even the bhakti abhas. And that enters because of the connection with Srila Prabhupada, the parampara. Krishna is accessible to anybody and everyone. So that is the beauty of this process of bhakti, that which connects Krishna. So when we have a bhakti, then only we'll start understanding who is Krishna. So then, how do we understand Krishna? Through bhakti, when you approach the Shastra, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. I am the Supreme Personality of God. Matta parataram nanyate. Krishna reveals. With these characteristics, Bahuni me vidhitani janmani tavacharjuna. I know I have taken so many births, but I remember everything. So that discriminates Krishna from Arjuna. So just like sugar, sweetness of the sugar discriminates sugar from the salt and rice. So this specific characteristic distinguishes. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jhatani jivante yat praliyante avisham vishanti tad brahma tad vijanasva. This is the Upanishad characteristics of Brahman. From whom? Yatova imani bhutani jayante. From whom everything is emanating, by whom everything is maintained, from whom everything is entering into. Tad Brahma, Tad Vijanasva. This is the Brahma, this is Supreme Absolute Truth. Tad Vijanasva, you understand that. So Shastra is ordering us, this is the Brahma. Again Srimad Bhagavatam. Janmadi Yasyata, reflecting the Upanishads. Here today's Bhagavatam class. Srijati Avati Atti. Yatova imani bhutani jayante. From whom everything is emanating from, by whom things are maintained, from whom everything is enters. So that is called, that way, Shastras pointing towards us to Krishna with his specific characteristics. So we identify this is the Supreme Absolute Truth. When the understanding comes, then such a great Krishna, beautiful Krishna, who is so beautiful, who is so endearing, I want to reach to him, I want to attain him. Then the Shastra tells, the same bhakti, perform the devotional service, the endeavor, the pravritti. Then when you do the pravritti, then what happened? Then Krishna becomes the object of your attainment. So in this way, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada and all our Acharya Parampara, We are not doing we don't come to ISKCON as a sentimental reason, or with our own for some external reasons. But Prabhupada says our ISKCON society is presenting Krishna in a solid logical way, backed by the Shastras. So in this way, through this proper understanding, when we approach Krishna, so Krishna mercifully given us the human body with the developed senses. Not only gave us the instrument, also gave us another instrument which are called Shastras, and also has given us the interface between the material instrument and the spiritual instrument. And on top of that, Krishna's grace, the Krishna's grace is flowing through the Guru Parampara, that they were given us opportunity by establishing this society where we can easily perform the process of bhakti. We don't have to work hard. The books are there, distribute the books. The temples are there, the deities are there. All the arrangements are done. Just enjoy bhakti. Prabhupada worked very hard to build ISKCON Radha Rasbihari temple. He just goes there and put chandan in the AC room in the altar and take darshan and take Mahaprasadam, go by car and come by car. So we enjoy. So the grandfather works hard, and what he is doing that? And he is giving that the particular access to Krishna with the proper understanding, with the special characteristics. So when all these things are given, what is our duty? Utilize this opportunity, understand it, develop a desire, and endeavor for that, and enjoy. So that is what the grace of Srila Prabhupada. So here in this shloka, the girls are talking, the women are talking. So if somebody doubts how you can put faith in the ladies, they are also having ordinary girls. They may not have, they are also having apparently material senses, somebody may say. That's why what the ladies are telling are not their own, as Prabhupada says, the product of their mental speculation, product of their fertile brain. No, they are actually repeating Vedeshu Guhyeshu. What the ladies are talking is also supported by the Vedas. But the Vedas may tell, but how do we know? Guhyavadibihi. The Guhyavad, the rishis understood the Vedas, and they are repeating. Not only the Vedas are very cryptic, but that has been understood by the Guhyavadibihi. They are also talking. And their talks, their confirming, their what they were talking, that is was been repeated by even the simple women of the Hastinapura. So in this way, Krishna, like altar opened, similarly Krishna is revealed through the Shabda, instrument called Shabda, the process of bhakti, and the Acharyas, Guhyavadibis are giving us. And when we go through their footsteps, the simple-hearted ladies of Hastinapur also can understand Krishna. In fact, they can understand even more better than the Guhyavadibi because of their simple devotion. So that is a scene of Vrindavan, that their love for Krishna is so spontaneous that they are actually understood Krishna, desire Krishna, and they actually relishing Krishna. So that is our goal. So we are grateful to Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara for giving us this great opportunity. Hare Krishna. So I thank all the devotees for patiently hearing this basic subject matter which you all know. Hare Krishna.